There's an American nightmare that's going on up and down King Drive.
When a person say, hey, meet me down on Martin Luther King Street, you know most likely it's going to be a dangerous environment.
As we stand here today, we're half a century away from the time that Martin Luther King came to Chicago to desegregate Chicago, and we face a lot of the same challenges today.
But I want to remind you today that we are not free in Chicago, in New York.
He came here to talk about the ghettos that we were living in. He came and he lived on the west side of Chicago to demonstrate his commitment to breaking that cycle of poverty that had been ensconced and entrenched in Chicago.
You see a very short summary of the Black experience as you travel King Drive in Chicago. You'll see a progression of depression.
We helped create another organization called Southside Critical Mass. That ride starts here at Cole Park on King Drive. When we started that ride, there were people who said, oh, y'all gonna meet at night?
On the south side?
On the south side and ride bikes? I mean, there were people who were fearful. We know our neighborhoods are safer than the perception and the narrative tells us they are. It doesn't mean we're naive about violence in our neighborhoods. We ride to reduce violence.
I think he would be ashamed to walk up and down Martin Luther King. When I first moved here, we had shopping places up there. We had a music store up there. You see nothing. I see nothing. I don't even walk up there. Me, I do not want to go down Martin Luther King.
Dr. King stood for unity. Dr. King stood for peace and justice, as well as economics. So to have such a negative stigma to be placed on the streets is kind of like a slap in the face to Dr. King's legacy. And so we're out to change that. We want to make people, when they get off the airplane, say, hey, I want to go to Martin Luther King. There's a nice restaurant. There's a nice jazz spot that we can go to.
I would love to walk up to that corner and see a statue of Martin Luther King. I'm 85 years old, be soon 86. I might not see that change, but God knows I wish I could.
The MLK Boulevard starts down around Bay Street or around the river, and traveling south, you'll see from the river coming back very nice bustling businesses and cultural spots as you come up. And then somewhere around Gwinnett Street, you start seeing it doesn't look as nice as it does the closer you are to town. Several neighborhoods, there are some housing projects up that way.
I think people do feel that there's an economic divide there. You see a lot more construction, a lot more investment in the northern part than you do in the southern part.
It was once a thriving street. Now, one thing that is happening, or has happened that's good, is the city has made some efforts to rectify that. Just to have the street and to see the name should spark something within all of us. He fought for great things, and if we find it in a depressed area, then it reminds us that there's a long way to go. And if we find it in a great area, that reminds us that yes, what he did was a great thing, and that we have made some strides forward.